Warning, it's...
Before we plunge into the mayhem with NastyNOVA, Bambina, Chelsea J, Sassy Bree, and Lucian Loc on the Ghetto Games podcast. Disclaimer, we are not licensed therapists, we are not medical doctors, we are not legal advisors. The thoughts, views, and opinions we're throwing out here are purely for your entertainment. This podcast is all about keeping it real and amusing. We engage in discussions and games with fantastic guests, covering everything from social and political issues to spirituality and beyond. However, let's be clear, it's all for the sake of entertainment. Some info might be true, some might be, well, a bit of creative storytelling. And just so we're on the same page, don't even consider attempting any of this at home. We might be trained in the art of wild entertainment, but looking out for your best interest? No, not our thing, or our own for that matter. So, fasten your seatbelts for the wild ride.
All right, welcome to the Ghetto Games podcast. Our last game was support or abort. Abortion is a tough topic. It's all over the news. Politicians are talking about it. There are court cases. It's everywhere. So we want to have a conversation about it here on the Ghetto Games. Yeah. Abortion levels are the highest it's ever been. In the calendar year ending 2023, numbers show that there was over 1 million abortions. And that's about a 10% increase since 2020, the COVID levels.
1 million?
1 million.
In 2023 after they, okay.
After Roe.
Yes.
Okay. After Roe.
Because that was in June
Correct.
of last year. Yes.
So I want to talk about birth control and abortion this episode. But before we get started, I want to know, first of all, what does birth control mean to y'all? If you want to talk about it, tell me about your birth control experience.
Never use birth control. Don't give a fuck about birth control. I don't even know why I'm sitting here.
You are now tuned into the Ghetto Games Podcast.
Welcome to the Ghetto Games Podcast.
You don't have to control anybody's birth?
No.
Okay.
My own.
You ever use birth control as a child?
Never used to. No. Never used birth control in my life.
She's been gay all her life.
Not gay all my life, but I've never used birth control, and I never used condoms.
She was letting men skeet in her.
That's a good question.
Birth control is not always used primarily for
I never had heavy cramps either.
It's not always used for preventing pregnancy. Sometimes it's used for managing periods, to have them regularly, to manage hormones. Women tend to have imbalanced hormones. So I was definitely placed on birth control early to manage my heavy menstrual cycles.
Okay.
I think I started birth control at maybe like 14.
Okay.
13. I think I was 14, 15. I think I started birth control.
Do you think birth control made your titties big?
No.
You think it also like
because I have that's hereditary.
Like your cycle, or do you feel like it's altering anything in your body?
I'm gonna get there. So I was on birth control from that time frame, from like 14 up until 2014. So that was through college. I took myself off of birth control because I felt like my mood, there was a major shift in my moods. Like I seemed very angry. I seemed very like mean, and it was always around the times like it was heightened. My mood and stuff was heightened. My mood swings were heightened around the time for me to come on my cycle, but it was a different type of
agitation. Like
it was really bad.
A bitch.
So it's like your hormones were really
like
impacted.
I can recognize when I'm like getting ready to come on my cycle now, but it was a different, like it was more intense. Like it was like really mean. But I was also it was where I was in life as well. That was also a cause, a trigger to that as well. Okay. But I did get off of birth control because I felt like I was on it for too long.
Okay.
For way too long. So I got off of it, and I could see a major difference in my attitude. I can see a major difference in my energy levels.
Okay.
I saw a major difference in weight when I got off of my
like you increased weight or you lost weight?
I lost weight. It was kind of up and down. It was based on what I was doing. It was kind of up and down.
You, Bam?
So I started taking oral contraceptives when I was about 13 for the same reason, to balance my hormones because of my menstrual was really heavy. And so I took that from like 97 until 97
forget.
until
You have to
like
remember she's older than us.
2000.
97, bitch. I think I just got my period.
You know what?
Dead
Until
ass.
like 2000 and
Damn,
No, dead ass. I think I
15?
was getting my period.
so very
That's a
like
long time.
it is.
That's
It's a
deep.
really long time, and I went through lots of different styles. Like I took oral contraception all through high school, and then right at the end of high school, because I was becoming more active, they put me on the ortho patch, and I used that until I got into college, and then I went to the ring. And I had that for quite some time. And what I can say about that specific, the ring itself definitely made me feel different. And I guess because like the medicine was being released in my
What's the ring?
The NOVA ring?
It's actually
It goes into
contraception
your
that goes
vagina.
into your
You
vagina.
insert it into the vagina.
And how long
it-
do you do that? It's like every day?
You take it out weekly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the patch is the same way. You put it on once a week, and then you take it off and put it back on.
Oh, the ring is weekly? I thought that was something that you get implanted and the doctor had to take it out.
That is the wing. The ring is actually you could take it out yourself. That you're talking about because my friend has that. The
thing in the arm.
implant
No, that's the IUD.
IUD.
Yeah.
No, they have something where the doctor can put it in and then take it out as well.
Yeah.
And the vagina.
Well, that's what she.
But
has.
maybe if it gets lost, that's when they have to take it out.
maybe, but no, she.
Dead pussy.
But does it
Girl,
stop
but
it
yes.
forever? Like it's removable,
But
right?
see, the thing
You
is
can
with the
remove
with
it.
the ring, I still had a menstrual cycle. My friend that has hers, she doesn't have a
Don't.
menstrual.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I stopped because I did feel like it was affecting my hormones in a majority of ways. Definitely like eating. I had never gotten pregnant. So I really and still don't know if I can get pregnant, and have been sort of told I couldn't. So I came off of birth control because of a lot of that too.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's your experience, right?
that's my experience. Yeah.
Okay, so what's your partner's experience? So they're using birth control, condoms, yes or no? Is that your preference? Or yeah.
I don't use condoms.
Yeah,
And
with
you
my
said you never use condoms
With my
either.
Never use
Partners.
condoms even when I was fucking with niggas.
My monogamous
in the
partner.
I was
beginning.
a child.
In the
Ain't
beginning,
never
yeah.
had no fucking
But
condoms. I'm gonna get the condoms from.
If it's a casual, like I have had some cuddy buddies. I remember in college, we definitely always used condoms because we weren't in a relationship.
Right.
We trusted each other, but we
Right.
weren't in a relationship, and I didn't know what they were doing all the time. But my partners, my relationships, I would prefer not having to think about that and just being able to have
Just
sex.
being able to have sex. And then as far as like, that's where the birth control with yourself, possibly. And then, of course, using condoms is something sort to happen. Okay. So, but what if there is a slip up? There is a baby. It wasn't planned. There isn't planned. And I'm not saying what is your decision, but if someone makes that decision to abort a child, what is your opinion on abortion?
Their choice. If they want to have an abortion, do their own thing. That's none of my business.
Okay.
I've had family members come to me, tell me they're pregnant, they don't know what to do. I said, whatever makes you happy, whatever you want to do. If you feel like you cannot do it right now, you don't have to.
Okay.
Things happen. You don't give a fuck.
Okay. So they should have a choice.
Yeah.
I would agree with Sheena. I do believe that everyone should have the right to have their choice. I did have an abortion in college. And that was just like a collective, it was, but it wasn't. But I will stick to saying that it was a mutual understanding
A mutual understanding.
Between you and the partner?
between me and the partner to get that.
Without a
that
conversation,
decision.
but just understood.
It was a conversation to a certain extent. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a mutual understanding to have that done. It was the best interest
Okay.
to have that done at that time. But it was a lot that came with that afterwards. A lot of mental.
You was fucked up.
Oh yeah, I definitely thought that I was gonna die. That God was gonna like take my life because I really went through like a
I wish
a
you would have told me.
period
I would have
where-
hugged you.
And my mom, when I finally, the way
She
the way my
hugs are
mom
amazing,
found
yeah.
out, it was like a
Nova's hugs
little.
are
My mom was
amazing.
always one of those like, you should never do that because you could be the one that just something will accidentally go wrong. You'll bleed to death on the.
Yeah.
Like she was never don't do that. Don't ever do that.
You see those things.
Yeah. So when it was one night that I was literally laying in my mom's house and I felt like I was going to die. And it was just like the spirit of just probably depression and just guilt that was taking over.
Were you in pain?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't in pain. I just felt bad for the decision that I had made for what I had just done, and I hadn't fully processed what I had did. Right.
And you hadn't spoken to anybody about it either.
No, and I know my spiritual background. So I felt what I did was extremely wrong.
Okay.
So it was like, I was just going through a lot at that time. So my mom didn't understand what I was going through. We went to the doctor.
Okay.
She ended up seeing something on the screen that said that I had tested positive for a pregnancy test. The doctor ended up coming in and asking me. He kind of violated my HIPAA.
Wow. And you was an adult?
At that time, yeah.
You was in college. Yeah, definitely. Violating your HIPAA.
Even if I wasn't an adult, it still would have violated.
It's true.
At what, 13, 14? Yeah. It would have violated. So, she saw that, and I ended up having to tell her, and that was just its own.
I'm sure that
it's
was
all day. She was really upset. And she really, I had to go. My pastor prayed for me and everything. We talked, and had to break down forgiveness again. Not that I didn't understand forgiveness, but I needed that reminder of what he's already forgiven me, but I need to forgive myself, and that was probably the worst part that I needed to
such a hard
get over. But yeah.
Okay. What about you, Bam? What are your feelings on
Chelsea? I am just blown away.
Yeah, so now when I think of abortion, it's totally different because I see why people have abortions. I can see reasons why people would have abortions and why.
I don't want to be locked with you forever, bitch. Tight.
Yeah, but it's just different situations where stuff can happen, and
that's the only thing I can think
the
of.
easier way out would be to just let me abort. And then we also tend to think, or some people might think, that this baby's not really a baby because we can't physically see a head. We can't physically see. We don't see hands. We don't see. We don't really look at a baby or like an embryo as a baby,
as a real baby,
even though it has a heartbeat.
You feel like it's a real baby?
Yeah, at the littlest, it's just not as formed as we are. But yes, it is something. But do they have the knowledge? I don't think at that stage, I don't think that human has the knowledge of knowing something is going on at the moment that they're getting killed. Right. If I want to say like that.
So at what age or what stage or what month is it that limit? Like, what is your limit of what acceptable abortion looks like for any of y'all?
I would say, because you can be pregnant.
I say in the first 4 months.
You think 4 months is acceptable?
I'll put about 3. Whenever you start showing for real.
I'm gonna say you can start depending on what number of pregnancy you're on. You can start showing at 3 months.
In less than 3 months.
But you can be pregnant at 2 months, almost 3 months, and not even know.
Right.
So I'm gonna say 2 months, 3 months.
2 months.
Anything beyond that, I would say it's a bit tough.
Yeah.
You're going to actually feel like if you actually had to have a medical abortion and you had to have that pill, you're going to feel contractions as if you were actually pregnant.
Yes. I saw that. I saw a video about that.
And I have experienced, I had not experienced it myself, but I've gone through that with a friend, and it was daunting on her and very traumatizing. And
does she have kids now?
She does not. But yeah, I've never had an abortion. As I said, I've never been pregnant.
You've been pregnant before. You just didn't know.
I am going to say that I do support people making the best choice for themselves. It's so funny because this has been brought up. Like, would you have wanted your mom to abort you? And obviously, I'm very grateful for my life. God has blessed me in abundantly, but I actually would say have said yes, because my father and my mother never loved each other, and they kind of have said that multiple times, that I was sort of born and nobody really wanted to take care of me. And I feel like in those situations, I'm so grateful that I ended up okay, right? But like, a lot of those children don't make it out, and they have horrible circumstances because of it. And oftentimes they just but we also saw in the game, there are lots of situations like mine where people do overcome into something that is almost incredible, unbelievable. But I think it can be a really difficult path, because like, from my experience, like I've shared with you guys, a lot of times when I was going through things, people thought I was pretending. They really thought I was faking. Like I've been on jobs where I was having full blown nervous breakdowns and I'm about to go in the hospital, mental case, and I'm out of work on a legitimate medical leave, and people are like, oh, you're on vacation, because they are looking at me in the way I present, because the society tells you got to be together. So when you see me, you think I'm together, but I'm really losing it, so all those things kind of go into that, but it creates, I've been able to work through that with therapy, but all the children that are like me that haven't had that access, so I'm very torn on it. But people would probably think that's very controversial, because I would say that I would have liked my father and mother to have aborted me.
I think about that
I
too.
think that's
Yeah.
Because my mom was supposed to abort me, but I told my grandma told my mama, don't have no kids. Don't have no kids, don't have no kids, don't have no kids. But she fucked around. My mom had 2 kids. And if my mama would have never had no kids, she would have been here alone. Lost.
Your grandma?
Yes. Should have been fucked up. She probably been dead the next day.
We all know that abortion is a touchy topic. The months that it takes for a child to be aborted right now in certain states is less than 2 months.
And which is what they said they felt like was permissible.
2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months was over here, and then I think you said.
I would agree, because like I said, seeing my friend go through that, and she was 4 months, and she had a baby. Like I had to clean. That was a baby, and it was.
You saw it?
Yeah, she couldn't handle it. I had to take care of it. I mean, it was clots and like, I don't want to get too.
How did you discard of it?
In the toilet.
Yeah, you just when they send you home with that abortion pill and for you to have your abortion,
they're
it's
expecting
for
you to
either release it in a pad or on the toilet.
So it's basically like blood clots,
but you
it's
can see
also
pieces like
it's like chunks of
body parts.
I don't know
if you've ever seen an embryo. You said it kind of
like
looks like
gel.
It's like gel, but it kind of looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah, I was gonna say cartilage,
kind of like an animal,
but not really.
You seen that commercial?
It's like tiny pieces.
You seen that?
I didn't have the pill.
Oh, okay. What you had? The vacuum?
I had the actual
The vacuum. You saw that?
And
did I see the vacuum?
Yeah. You seen them?
Yeah, I was up for everything.
You saw them doing that out here?
Yes.
Why you didn't call me? I would have walked in there to see it with you.
Not to see it with you. I
want to do that.
I wasn't about. No, I wasn't.
But that's
I wasn't about
saying.
myself.
You took your man
That's
at the time?
traumatic, but at least
he took
kind of
me.
like.
I bet you said, I ain't doing that shit no more.
It's traumatic. But
Would you do it again?
When it's over, it's like.
Would you do it again?
Over.
No.
Right? No.
If you got pregnant by a drug dealer facing 99 years.
Well, she wouldn't be fucking with a drug dealer.
Yeah, I would be more careful.
I would say, in hindsight,
she'll fucking get pregnant with the drug dealer baby, have 99 years, and then it'd be fucking triplets.
What are you saying right now? Cancel.
No.
I'm taking what the fuck you talking about? They're gonna be like, what?
No.
Yeah, you be like that lady on like that Lifetime movie.
Did she take the baby?
The cradle.
No.
Steal it. Oh no, that's
Some
another
other
movie we watched.
That shit over yourself.
Ah,
You're
Cancel
going to have a
that.
baby
triplets.
by a drug dealer
No,
I need a
no
drug
one
dealer.
needs drug dealer babies.
Yeah,
'cause I'm
I
the
need a drug
product.
dealer.
And a murderer.
He moved kilos
And
and,
a
I'm a
murder.
hood hoe. That's my song. I love that song.
and a murder.
Okay, whatever.
all right. So one
You
thing
know I
that
love
somebody was
that.
telling
It's
me,
getting out of control.
a cure. Right. I'm just gonna redirect this back.
Yeah, have to.
One of the things that people were saying was a cure to abortion rates would be just to stop fucking. No one's gonna stop fucking in America.
I mean, I have before.
But the majority is
Stop
not
fucking.
going to be abstinent. It's not going to choose to be
Still
celibate.
Discipline.
be South Beach and all that good.
I
Timing
definitely
and
think
stuff,
people
partying.
should take time to be celibate and not be jumping in and out of beds.
Yes.
Period. For their own healing, but a lot of
Heal your woes.
men really. This is a whole nother.
Okay,
thing,
we're
but-
we're gonna let him. We're gonna let him. We're gonna let him do his thing.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah, please. We gotta.
I know a lot of
I know, we
situations when women have women and men are in relationships. Excuse me. A lot of situations where men and women are in relationships and they are tired of having children. We talked about abortions as accidents or incidentals or experiences that we did not plan. Now we are in a relationship. We talk about this family that's in a relationship. They have kids. They're getting older. However, they have sex. They're not fucking. Mm-hmm. Who's getting the vasectomy, and who should get their tubes tied? In that type of monogamous or hetero relationship.
If they don't want to have children.
We're not talking about using condoms. We're not talking about using birth controls, because we already identified those are not very.
I feel like if one gets it, the other needs to get it as well. Because if we're together and we decide we don't want any more kids, you get yours, I get mine. I don't have to worry about us if we separate.
I think that has to be more of a commitment to each other than just being together. No. Like you need to. I would consider that with my husband and I wouldn't expect him to get a vasectomy being my girl.
Yeah, not in a relationship, because I feel like that point in a relationship, anybody, I mean, granted, nothing is permanent.
No,
I was about to say, don't
it should be. Yeah, nothing is permanent, but I feel like that would have to be a decision based off you solely believing that's something that you want to do.
Exactly.
Not because the other person doesn't want, but something that you want to do. And you know for a fact whether you're with this person or whether you're with the next person that you do not want any more kids, or you don't want any kids. I feel like that would have to be that way.
Is because in marriage, you're not just one person. Yeah. You are together. As when you're in a relationship, yes, you be respectful to your partner, but you're still an individual. But in a marriage, y'all really are one. So I think it is more of a less,
popping out.
If we are married, both of us will be getting it.
If we don't want any more children.
I'm not getting no vasectomy. No, I ain't doing that.
Okay, well, she don't need to get her tubes tied. Because I've known too many women that have gotten their tubes tied because their man didn't want any more kids, and then they fucking broke up, and then he went out and had another fucking baby with somebody, and she couldn't produce a baby.
Yeah.
Fuck no. Hell no, bitch.
Can't you get them untied?
Well, I feel like a vasectomy is supposedly reversible as well.
99, I think it's 99, it was 98% reversed.
And I actually,
reversible. Excuse me.
Or reversible. However, someone I just went to college with thought that she was done having kids, and her husband had a vasectomy as a agreement to not. She's now pregnant.
From him.
Yeah, I know a lot of
it reversed on his own. It reversed on his own.
That nigga never got it.
No, the doctor confirmed that it.
I need.
Reverse.
I have a loss.
It reversed. It can happen. Nothing
thing.
is 100% safe.
Yeah.
The same way you can get pregnant with your tubes being tied. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Where we at with time? 24. Cool. Perfect. 6 more minutes.
Okay.
It's wild.
Random question: would y'all ever give your child, your teenage son, a vasectomy?
My teenage son? No.
No.
He's not even able to make his own decisions.
No child is getting anything.
No child. Yeah.
No.
It's absolutely not.
No.
It's absolutely
even if they wanted to be a girl, they could be a cross-dresser until they turn 18 to figure out the money.
So
still to this day, us being put on birth control to manage our periods, I feel was a setup for something.
It was violation.
There's no reason why all of us young women have experience and around the same age, and they're telling us that we need to have this.
Niggas be having cysts
in order to
heavy
PCOS.
Yes, we both. It's so interesting because, like we just talked about the prolapse,
polyps.
It's all kinds of issues that I do feel like have come from that.
Being on birth control.
Birth control. Well,
infertility issues, trouble getting pregnant, fibroids.
Yes.
There's so many young black women dealing with fibroids and having a hard time getting pregnant.
Yes.
Because they was on birth control.
Because they probably was on birth control.
Right.
He hated it. I'm sorry, Chelsea, you was going off on birth control. Hated it.
There are a lot of things that black girls do be going through.
And they're around our age.
Yeah,
it's not just our age.
I've heard a lot of people.
A lot of our age are really struggling. Our generation are struggling.
Cancer.
Yeah.
My last question for y'all is, if not a question, I'm just gonna throw something out there. If a woman has a child with a man that doesn't want to have that child, and then she should be supporting that child and responsible for that child alone, and that man should not be on child support.
That's your stance.
It's your statement. It's your statement.
That's your opinion.
Your opinion is that if a woman,
it's a scenario.
It's a scenario. So you're saying if a woman is pregnant with a man's child that he obviously planted in her, and she does not want to have that child. Excuse me, she wants to have the child, but he doesn't not want to be a part of it. That she should be responsible and have not go to him for anything.
Correct.
No.
You said no?
No.
No.
If a woman is pregnant and she got pregnant by said man,
yep.
If he wants it or not, it's her body.
Yeah.
Once he fucks her and the semen's released, the contract of you not wanting a baby is over. It didn't matter if you didn't want the baby.
That's the gospel truth.
You put your penis in her
and said you wanted a baby.
And that was dead ass. When you put your penis in a woman, you know that a baby is coming. Even if you didn't
lucky
want.
if it don't. You're lucky if it do.
You're just lucky if it doesn't come.
Yeah,
dead ass.
And that's the thing. I'm learning now that I'm dating. A lot of men are comfortable having unprotected sex.
Yeah, because they think with their dick and not with their heads.
It's very crazy though. Like I just met you.
No, we can talk about men another time because we're living in a horrible time right now with men.
Oh, okay. Well, but this is what I'm saying. So it's common that a lot of men would have sex.
So
with
yeah,
women.
if a man doesn't want a baby,
doing it, not thinking that they can. They might not go in with the intent. They're going in with having a good time in the moment. It feels good. They're not thinking of, I'm fucking her to get her pregnant. No.
Right.
Some, yes, but a lot, no. That's not the
I mean, a woman obviously is a bit irresponsible or maybe gullible as well. Because we gotta protect ourselves.
Yeah, we gotta take accountability. If she comes into the situation
and tell this man that she's gonna raise this child by herself and not ever come hit you up for child support, I want to have this child.
I don't know if I agree with that either. Because
a
woman,
as soon as she has,
she's getting.
No. When the baby comes, you're going to assist with money or time and money.
But you're saying she should be let off the hook if she does not want it before that baby comes. She don't even know what she's saying. I'm gonna just be honest.
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
That's her dumb ass fault. She shouldn't have said nothing because she can still go to the court and get a check.
And even
she just let him get off easy.
Yeah.
And all he got was a fuck.
Yeah.
And she gets a fuck and responsibility.
Exactly. Who takes accountability?
No, right.
And what happens to that kid? The kid still needs a dad.
Only her.
Like there's just not
probably the same. God. He probably had the same thing happen to him as a child.
Right. Which is that's very deep. The
cycles fucked up.
Yeah.
Or is it her cycle? She wants to keep the child and she don't want to support. She doesn't want the support from him
because he's probably a fuck ass nigga and she don't want to deal with it.
Right, but it's not that she don't really want the support.
But she wants the child.
It's not even that she wants the child. The child is coming.
Right.
She doesn't want to kill a child. That's just her body, her choice.
Or you don't even know what her life has been. Maybe she's been around abortion. Maybe she's tried to have children in the past. She didn't. It's just like she didn't know she could have children. Like it's all kinds of things.
When you put your dick in her, you signed a contract to say.
Do you think that's selfish?
When we lay down, we do the same thing.
I think that's if I think the selfish part of her would be is telling somebody I don't want your help at all. I think that's when she's selfish. Like, I don't want your help at all. Like,
does he want to be?
But you're
saying
the
that
scenario is saying that he doesn't want the child.
He does not want the child.
So what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her responding to him not wanting the child? What's wrong with her saying, I don't need your help if you don't want the child?
Correct. So what's the problem with that?
No, it's not. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But she actually, it was. What was your question?
Well,
it was
basically like, did you feel like she was wrong for saying
she wanted to keep it instead of getting rid of it?
She's okay.
Or
for
selfish
saying that.
is I think the word I use.
And that's it. The only part that I thought was selfish was when she said that, okay, no, I don't want your help or anything like that.
Selfish to her child.
How is she selfish?
Huh?
How is she selfish?
I think that was a moment where, well, sometimes you need to be selfish, right? I don't need your help. I'm gonna take ownership for it. But that was her selfish moment, is when she's saying that I don't need your help.
Well, you're telling me you don't want it. I'm not going to force you.
No, that's not selfish.
That's avoiding a fucking problem because clearly you're fucking with a fuck ass nigga.
Yeah, like
I have a family member that literally just did that. She just found out this man was fucking married with a whole family and she's pregnant and she's like, I'm not having another abortion. Period.
Yeah, because like,
and I'm having my baby. Love it or like it or love it, nigga. What's up?
Yeah.
I don't have to ruin what you got going on, but I'm going to keep the child.
It's not, but it's like she shouldn't even be considering. I'm not saying considering. Because if it is a family dynamic, there are children and things involved. I definitely understand considering.
I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother that family.
She shouldn't even be worried about trying to not consider him. I mean, I guess she has to if she's considering his other children. But like that's what I'm saying. The women take
women
all
are
of
empathetic. Like
Too empathetic.
We feel
she's sitting here
absorb it
thinking
all.
about all of
Yeah.
that when she's up
Absorb.
there pregnant by
Okay.
herself in her house, going to these appointments by herself. But she's sitting here thinking,
can't
"Oh,
put
I don't
myself
want to
in that
mess up
shoe.
his
I can't put
situation."
myself in that shoe, and I can imagine that's very
Because you would have been called the wife.
We
Would you have called the wife?
crazy.
Barbara, this is Shirley.
Yeah,
We got a baby on the way.
I don't even know
We
too much
got a
that
baby
I don't even
coming.
know if it's much that I'm
got
calling, but I'm
chills.
definitely going to have a conversation with him to where I
Yes.
know for a fact
We
that
need to
he
sit
sat
down.
and had a conversation with her to let him know, because I don't feel like I need to have a conversation with any other female.
I do agree with that. I do like
This
that
is
too.
this is your responsibility. This is you need to take accountability for
Especially
the
if I
actions that you
didn't
did.
know.
And you need
I
you
didn't
need
know
to
what was
sit
going
down
on.
and you need to be a man and say what you made a mistake and did, and this is how we're moving forward, and this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to take place.
So the bottom line,
y'all snitching.
even if a man,
I don't
no,
know.
I'm
saying-
not saying I'm snitching. He's going to snitch on himself.
like even if a man is saying,
My baby's not
I-
going to be a hidden treasure.
I mean,
So that's right. So even if a man is saying, I don't want to be a part of this,
Yeah.
you have the baby,
I'm cool
both
with you having
parties
a
are
baby.
still
Treasure
responsible.
Treasure is
Yeah.
crazy.
You're saying both parties are still responsible.
I will probably name the baby
Both parties at the
treasure.
end of the day still responsible. Okay.
You can be responsible, yeah.
Okay.
So this is a whole sidebar, and then we could certainly close out.
Stupid bitch.
How would y'all feel if after you had sex with a man, y'all talking, they're like, "Oh, I'm not really ready for a baby," but y'all did have the unprotected sex. They did come in you, and you're like, they're like, "I'm not really ready for a baby," and they're acting, and you're like, "Okay, well, I'll go get a plan B. I'll go to the Walgreens or whatever.
I'll go get a plan B.
Right.
Baby, get
you're
one
gonna
sent
give
to the
me-
house.
But and they're like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna come with you to make sure you
get
take
one
it."
sent to the house.
How would you feel?
Well, for
DoorDash.
one, I would never be laying down with a man him telling me anything like that. For two, if I was a feminine woman that was having sex with a man and he told me he wasn't ready for a baby and then told me he wanted to watch me take the pill, he would never talk to me or see me or touch my body again.
Because is it because you feel like he didn't trust you to just take the plan B, like you said,
That or it's giving this is a pattern.
This is what you do.
This is what you do.
Oh,
I'm
I
surprised
see.
you don't have one in
Either
your
this
bag.
is what you
bitch.
do, or why are you even this type of person?
Why we
to be- why,
fucking?
why are you viewing me as I'm good enough to fuck, but I'm not good enough to have your child?
Never touch me again.
I mean, how far?
Because
in a
men
relationship
don't
are you?
have
I wanna
fucking
ask
I'm
morals.
about to say,
man.
how far are you in that relationship? Because if you're not, if you're far in a relationship, okay, y'all been through this. Y'all probably had conversations about this. But I'm just saying, if this,
Men don't have morals.
if we are a couple weeks in
Some
and
men
things
do.
like that, we're trying to be like, probably exploring our
Very few.
options.
And
I don't.
we
it's
have a
nothing
passionate
wrong.
night.
It's nothing wrong with
We-
telling him to put a condom on, and she was like, "No, take it off." And then you like, "All right, cool, we got that
Or-
pill for tomorrow, though."
Girls
Or
say
if
take
the
a condom
comes
off.
off inside you.
You be telling people take a condom off?
No, but I have had a condom
I'm
come
just
off
saying,
inside
the
me and
beginning-
take
Did you
a plan
tell
B.
them take it off?
Of course not.
Have you ever told a nigga take a condom off?
I've never told a guy to
Okay.
take condom off, but it was like a mutual understanding to
That
where
we're not
wearing-
fucking with
we're not
condoms?
wearing- yeah.
Yes.
That was your boyfriend?
Yes.
Or y'all was just fucking?
For the
I'm
most
just
part,
saying.
we've been.
But I
Been
have had a
fucking.
situation where I was having sex and the condom was inside me, so I didn't know if the cum was inside me, so I went and took a plan B.
Wasting money.
I think the only situation what she was talking
You
about
think
earlier
so?
was like when she said, "Okay, you a fuck nigga." So
probably was.
the first time you fuck somebody, and the first thing nigga say, "I'm gonna get you a plan B. I need you to do it in front of me."
Fuck nigga.
You say you gonna what? Walk away?
You'll never see me again.
Never see you again.
What you think, Chelsea? You wouldn't talk to them? You would feel away?
If that happened to me,
Yeah, like if they made
That's
you
like
get in
that's like the
front of them.
utmost disrespect to a
yeah, I
woman.
would feel disrespect. That's on the same level as saying that you want to have an abortion. You feel it's right to have an abortion. That's the same level to me.
Not
So
argue.
you wouldn't take a plan B, is what you're saying?
No, she would take the
I
plan
would
B.
take a plan B, yes.
the level
But
that-
if somebody, if the
Following you
person
to the
that told me, is
pharmacy.
making sure that I actually take it because you you need some
I
reassurance.
think it's a little weird.
Yeah, that's
It's a little weird.
equivalent for you telling me that you want me to have an abortion.
Okay, that's
Bullshit.
good. Do you
Well,
see it that way? Like
no.
with taking a girl, would you do that?
I don't see it. I can see where you're coming from and how you feel like that's just disrespectful. Like you just did like right in front of somebody like that. But I can understand a man's perspective, just being reassured in certain situations about
Making sure everybody's okay.
if I'm a baller, if I have something to lose by
If I have
one
something
night,
to lose, I'm
this
wearing a
one night.
condom.
Yes.
If I have something to lose by this one night, that can follow me somewhere else. Some people have
Are
different
condoms
lifestyles.
expensive? Because I don't have to buy them.
Expensive.
Now
mean,
they
they're-
are.
I mean,
Now condoms have
Inflation.
they have gotten
expensive, but they're less
expensive,
expensive than
but
Plan B.
they're less expensive than Plan B, and they're less expensive than daycare.
That's a fact, baby.
Hospital bill. For birth.
Period. Children in general, very expensive.
Big
Okay,
expensive.
we're not talking about inflation, but
No, I'm just saying children.
we can wrap it up. It's cool.
well, that's the Ghetto Games podcast, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Peace.
Peace.
Ghetto Games Podcast.